races lately. I'm Bernie Bro, and let's have a conversation. Do you know who Wild Bill for America is? I've talked about him before here on YouTube. He is a he is an extreme right wing YouTube commentator. Basically, he's basically Ted Cruz meet Chuck Norris, but not even as hip as they are, and they're not hip. That describes Wild Bill for America. He's a partisan hack, and all he knows how to do is blame the left, 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 blame Democrats, blame liberals, blame the gays, blame feminists, blame environmentalists, blame unions, blame. Victim politics, the kind of thing that quote unquote conservatives like him claim to be opposed to, but practice himself. On May 20, he came up with a video called Rioting for Fun and Profit. I will put the link below at the end of this video. The commentary, he discussed the recent riots around the country as it pertains to police brutality. He pretended to show some empathy and concern for the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis by the officer Chauvin, and he claims that, he makes this disingenuous comment on the side of how our justice system is going to go and take care and make an example out of him. I honestly wish that what he just said was true. That our justice system will make an example out of this individual asshole police officer who put a knee on George Floyd's neck and murdered him. I just don't have faith year after year after year, and it's getting to be so damn commonplace. The police brutality, cops shooting, blacks in cold blood. It's not just African Americans. I mean, in college towns where it's predominantly white, cops like to go crash into parties and bully young kids around too, young college kids. So it goes all around. But there is a criminal justice problem that's linked with racism, and he just overlooks that. Of course, he is a passionate supporter of capital punishment, which is definitely a racist instrument used against the disenfranchised. But he talks about justice to bring Derek Chauvin to justice, that he will face prison time. Well, the sad truth is, it's likely not to happen. It's just something that just keeps repeating itself over and over. Then he talks about patterns within the African American community and the rioting and the reaction. Now, for me, um, I am not a cultural relativist. If anybody, even those who are oppressed, engages in an extreme response, I go by the adage that violence is never the answer. Martin Luther King believed this. Mahatma Gandhi believed this. And Jesus, the original socialist, believed this. Nonviolence is the answer. But I understand the rage. Doesn't mean that I condone it. I understand it. And if people do not want to see, the right, better get over their little power trip and start treating people with respect. Again, all cops are guilty of this, but there are just enough bad apples in law enforcement that makes it a problem. Well, so anyway, the selective outrage about blacks, these blacks, and going around looting and rioting and burning buildings down and all of that. That kind of criminality, and it is a criminal act. I don't condone it. But why is he concerned with that when you have corporate criminals that pays Americans from all walks of life starvation wages, deprive them of a proper retirement, proper vacation time, uh, um, you know, crappy healthcare coverage if they even provide healthcare, or if it's moderately decent, very expensive healthcare coverage. Is Wild Bill concerned about that? No, 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 no. He is concerned about protecting corporate America because he has an undying faith in corporatism. I don't. But anyhow, his partisan hypocrisy just offends me. And he goes on this rage and diatribe about blacks linking them into crime and welfare, assuming that all African Americans are on welfare and commit crimes. Well, Bill, I thought you say you were colorblind. You keep saying that over the years how fucking colorblind you are. Um, I don't I don't see where you're colorblind if you're going to go and directly link African Americans into race riots and crime and welfare. Um, there are more white people per capita are on welfare than African Americans, and there are plenty of African Americans who are college educated and or go to a trade school once they graduate high school and have good paying jobs and play by the rules and try to strive for the American dreams. And quite a number of people in the African American community are living the positive excesses of the American dream. So so I'm the one being colorblind, a progressive like myself, supposedly obsessed by identity politics. Well, then he starts talking about cutting welfare programs, the so-called investment into the black community. Again, welfare is race neutral. Social programs were not created to put African Americans on welfare. It was created to help people who are poor, regardless of their color and demographics, to get them back on their feet again. But yet, while Bill puts color into welfare, I get very suspicious when people do that. Um, he wants to cut off all public aid, specifically to the black community. Why? Why specifically the black community? Um, as I said, more white people are on welfare than African Americans, and then he starts on his rant about Colin Kaepernick's constitutional right to protest. And I'm sorry, it's nothing disrespectful about kneeling before the American flag, during the Pledge of Allegiance. I mean, it's not like he sat there and whipped out his penis and started pissing on the flag at these ball games. I mean, he kneeled as he did the Pledge of Allegiance because there's a police brutality problem. Well, Bill, if you're going to be such a snowflake about Colin Kaepernick and his kneeling as the Pledge of Allegiance is taking place, maybe we should do something about these law enforcement officers that engages in police brutality. When I was in college, I actually witnessed police brutality among two young African Americans kids, and there were probably about maybe about 100 white people that saw it happening. And I can guarantee you, if you would have been there, unless you have your partisan blinders on, any fool would have realized, any objective person would realize that that was police brutality that took place. Um, but you went on a speech about Maxine Waters. Maxine Waters is a problem to you, but Steve King of Iowa isn't, or John Scalise, who bragged that he was David Duke without the baggage. That's okay. And I'm sure you probably have some love for Pat Buchanan, except for his occasional criticism of Israel and his, I'm sure that that's probably the only area where you'll probably find yourself denouncing Pat Buchanan. But it's crazy. Just listening, just the ordeal of listening to your commentaries. Um, and he goes on about how whites are go out of their way to help the defenseless black man. I mean, with such condescending lectures. Well, Bill, Richard Spencer is a terrible human being, and there's no dispute about that. But here's the one thing: between Wild Bill for America and Richard Spencer, at least Richard Spencer is honest about who he is. He doesn't sugarcoat it. He's honest, and I'd rather deal with the devil I know junk to the African American community, act like they're a bunch of savages. The entire community. I don't believe in identity politics. I take people as individuals, and when it comes to racism and charges of racism, I don't toss around the term lightly. If somebody is a racist, you better believe it that they are deserving to be called that. I mean, you know, uh, uh, having a different opinion on tax policies or uh, or whether we should have a Green New Deal or not. I mean, I make fun of liberals that say, well, you're a racist if you don't believe in the Green New Deal. You're a racist if you don't believe in Obamacare. You're a racist if you want to lower taxes from the rich. I mean, I make fun of those kind of libtards. But you're just like those libtards, but on the right. And you paint everybody who marginally disagree with you as an evil liberal, and terrorist loving uh, Maoist or something. Uh, well, Bill, you are a joke. You are a very bad joke. I mean, the one thing I do enjoy about your videos is I can get a good laugh, but I was kind of more angry than I was humored. And as I said, what your commentary, if you are not a racist, he sure darn well sounded like one. And it sounds pretty racist to me. I am Bernie Bro. If you like what you heard, please feel free to subscribe and tell your friends, your family, your loved ones, and all the people you know about this channel, because we're here to make this channel grow and to make it a relevant conversation to fight for what is good about America. And again, I would like to see America be like Sweden under the Social Democrats. I'm Bernie Bro. Peace.